today, Leilun Ishmat, Monica, Miriam, Batfani, Alea Shalom, together with Leilun Ishmat, my grandfather, Rabbi Avraham Ben Nisi, Alav Shalom as well. You know, during the days of Selichot and during the days of Elul, uh, one of the main, obviously, one of the main goals is the concept of Teshuvah. But when it comes to Teshuvah, a lot of people, they get focused in how to stop doing the wrong things, right? We're thinking, listen, I'm doing this wrong and that wrong, and I have to stop it, and I have to change. And by the way, many times happened that you really want to change, and then in the middle of the month of Elul, you fall again, and you fall again. And sometimes we miss the real goal of the days of Elul. Because the real goal is not only sur mera, it's not only to go away from the negative things that we're doing, but it's mainly to be focused in aseh tov, in do positive. More a person is focused in doing positive, immediately the negative is going to be pushed out. But when you're only focusing pushing out the negative, you're missing the positive of becoming even greater. And one of the things that the Baalei Musar are speaking about is, how do you become better? By trying to judge other people for good. Not only other people for good, but actually to see the good in general. Let me tell you something unbelievable. There is a pasuk in Shir Hashirim. The pasuk speaks about Ishakeni mineshikot piu kitovim dodecha miyain. If you try to translate this pasuk, Ishakeni mineshikot piu, kiss me, Ishakeni, okay, mineshikot piu, from the kiss of your mouth. Kivechol, we have to understand, what is this pasuk? What is Shlomo HaMelech trying to teach us? Rashi brings a perush, and he says, Ishakeni mineshikot piu is the most close relationship that can be. A concept of a kiss, it's when there is a very strong relationship in between two fellows. When we come to kiss Kivyachol Borei Olam, we get into a full connection in between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But how do we kiss Borei Olam? How can you kiss HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And how Borei Olam can kiss you? Says Rashi, listen to this perush. Ishakeni mineshikot piu, says Rashi, by connecting your own mouth, your own lips, one to the other. By being careful of not speaking negative about other people and closing your mouth at the moment that somebody's saying something that it's not so proper about your friends or whatever it is, you're able to be menasheket picha, you're being able to close up your lips, you're actually kissing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Borei Olam is kissing you back. And this is, Rabotai, something unbelievable, what the Mishnah writes in Pirkei Avot, that a person, there is no a person that doesn't have a time. What that means? Sometimes you can see people that they act a little bit random. They're not like everybody. They wear, I don't know, a funny shirt, or they walk funny, or they speak funny, and these type of things. And many times we don't even understand who is that person that is in front of us. And sometimes we can even allow ourselves to laugh a little bit, not to give him the right kavod that he deserves. Do you know? I got once a book of Sifrei Tzadikim. But Tzadikim, not the big rabbis with a long beard and white beard. Tzadikim, that they were looking like a simple fellow, an old man with a casket, with not even a beard, with a blue shirt, whatever it is. He was Gadol Ador. Not one and not two. Hundreds of tzaddikim like that. Tzaddikim nistarim. If that guy of these pictures, right? If that chacham was coming in right now in this room, right? And we will see him, we'll not even look at him. Not only that, sometimes if he comes to the shul and he's sitting in your spot, you will tell him, move quick. If you will realize who is this fellow, you will get embarrassed. The Gemara says in Masechet Pesachim, there was a rabbi by name Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi had his son, and his son got sick, and his son had a death, clinic death. So it's the Gemara. The neshama of the son of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi went up, and it came down. When it came down, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, the father asked his son, Beni, my son, what did you see upstairs in Shamayim? And he told him, Abba, I saw Elyonim lemata, v'tachtonim lemala. I saw the people that were important people over here, people that you see and you give them respect. Up in Shamayim, they are lemata. They're nobody. And I saw certain people that there were nobody over here, and they're all the way up. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi said to his son, my dear son, Olam barur ra'ita. You saw a clear world. Our world, it's Olam sheker. Our world, it's all about outside. How do you look outside? How do you present yourself outside? But the real avodah and the real connection is on the inside. Ishakeni mineshikot piyu. When you try to close up your mouth, to close up yourself, but to connect from the inside to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's a real connection. There was a great rabbi by name the Maharshal, Rabbi Shlomo Luria. The Maharshal, you open up the Gemarot. At the end of the Gemarot, one of the famous Mefarshim is the Maharsha. The Maharsha, one of the greatest Mefarshim on the Talmud. And at the bottom of the Maharsha, there is Perusha Maharshal. The Maharsha, Rabbi Shlomo Luria, was a Gadol Ador, was a gigantic in Torah. One night, he was learning Torah in his house. Now, under his house, there were some stores, right? And there was one of the stores that was under his house, was a small yarkan, how do you say that? They sell vegetables. Okay. So the rabbi was learning Torah, and he got a very hard question in his learning, the middle of the night. He tried here, he tried there, he doesn't find any answer. He said, Borei Olam, help me, I don't know what to do. I have to find an answer for this question that I have. All of a sudden, he hears a voice. He hears somebody from downstairs, and he hears a voice of learning. He's trying to listen, and he hears that this voice is a guy that is learning the same exact Gemara that he is learning. He went to check, and quietly saw that who is learning there? The owner of the vegetable store. So that's it. Tomorrow morning, I'll go and I'll ask him. Next morning, he comes to the store and he says, Mr. Abraham, can you please tell me pshat in this Tosafot, in this Masechet? Says, Rabbi, I can tell you about the tomatoes and about the cucumbers. No Tosafot, no Gemara. What do you want from me? So listen, I heard you last night learning, and I know that you're learning the same sugya as me. You got to tell me I don't know, what are you talking about? The rabbi said, I am gozer alecha gezerat rabbanim. I'm giving you a decree, an obligation that you got to tell me the perush of the Gemara that you're learning. The guy said, please, Rabbi, I'll tell you, but promise me that you're not going to say anything. And from that day on, the Marshal was learning with this fellow every single night, Havruta, until the passing of the Marshal. When the Marshal was about to pass away, the students, they told him, Rabbi, who is going to take over? Who is going to continue? Says, who's going to continue? The guy that sells vegetables, tomatoes, and cucumbers. So what are you talking about? This guy is a Talmid Chacham Atzum. We don't realize because we're all focusing the outside. You can never know who is the person who is in front of you. And because you can never know, you should try to give the right respect. You should try to look the inside of the fellow that is in front of you. Even though he might look a little bit bizarre, a little bit not as everybody else. try to open up your eyes. Try to look in the inside. Because whenever you focus in the inside, you get connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the real connection of Ishakeni Mineshikot Piyu. Baruch Adonai Leolam. אמן ואמן. רבי יחננה בן יחשב אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיך